Hi guys, in today's video I'll be talking about Rural and North Immigration Pilot Program. So this program was launched in November 2019 as a 5-year pilot program, and government will accept 2750 permanent residence application under this program until 2024. So let's look more into the about this program, like who all can apply, what all steps are there in order to apply for this program. It's a very good pathway to come to Canada by applying through this particular program. And so let's say I'll share the link of the page that is being shown over here. So you can start from here and you can read who can apply. So once I select that I don't have a community recommendation, then I go to this particular section, that the work experience that is required for applying to this particular program. So you will see that it says that you need at least 1 year of work experience, which is 1560 hours in the past 3 years. And to calculate your hours of experience, you can go through these notes, like how you can calculate your hours of experience. So even if you have worked for different employers in the same occupation, that will also be considered as your work experience. And your work experience must meet the NOC training, education, experience, and responsibility. So the new system that has launched into the PR, so it should meet the tier category that has been launched recently. And your work experience, it should fall under tier 0, 1, 2, or 3, and it should either fall under 1, 2, 3. So depending on your job offer, it should fall under one of the tiers that are being mentioned in the PR application. And there is an healthcare exception also. So for registered nurses and registered psychiatric nurses, there are certain exceptions that you can look into. Then also international students are eligible to apply for this particular program, and they don't have to show any work experience, they don't have to meet any work experience criteria under this particular RINP program. And the program should be at least 2 years long. So that is what is being written over there, and they should be full-time student for the full duration of 2 years. So it could not be applied for shorter programs like 1 year diploma programs or a break program. So you should be a full-time student for the full duration of 2 plus years. So that is a requirement if you are going through an international students category to apply for this particular program. Also, you should apply once you get your credential as an international student, you have completed your studies, you should apply for this program within 18 months. For you should file for your PR application. And then uh, these are some of the things that who all can apply for this particular program. Now let's look into what are the language requirements. So in order to apply for this particular program, you have to meet certain language requirements. And the minimum language requirements, it depends on your NOC category or the tier in which you fall. So let's say tier 0 and 1, they should have a minimum of CLB 6. So CLB 6 is something which is not a very much high score. You can easily score that. So it is basically in listening, you have to score 5.5, reading, writing, and speaking, you have to score around 5.5 something. So it's not a big thing that you have to achieve under these tiers. So you can easily get these IELTS score with a practice of a week or so. So you should aim for these tier categories. You should look for these tier categories under which these programs fall. So these are some of the language requirements for this particular program. Now let's look into the educational requirement for this program. So you should get an ECA done for the degree that you hold. It can be done by any of the organizations such as WES, and there are some certain other organizations who do this particular matching of your degree with the foreign credential, or whether it is equivalent to the Canadian education system or not. So that can be done. And now let's look into the settlement funds. So how much fund you should have in order to apply for uh, this particular category. So let's find out more, like what all funds and how much funds is required for this particular category. So not much funds are required if we look into it. Like the number of depending on the number of family education, the funds that you need to show, and which should be equivalent to these Canadian dollars. So let's say if you are the only person who is planning to apply for your PR application, then you have to show around $2,290. which you can convert into your home country currency. And then if two people are traveling, or you're applying for two people in this PR application, then you have to show around 2,851 funds. Similarly, if you have three members who are applying for this particular PR application, then you have to show around $3,505 dollars in your bank account converted, depending on whatever your home currency is. So that is what you have to do. You have to check. Now we have seen like who all can apply, and the fund that is being needed. Now let's look into other requirements, like we saw educational, we saw the funds that are being required. Then there are certain communities which are involved in this particular RNIP program. In total, there are 11 communities that are involved in this RNIP program. Let's go on to the website of one or two communities and look how you can search for job on these websites of these communities. So let's go to North Bay community, and when you go to this particular tab in this particular community website, you will see that there are certain jobs that are being mentioned uh, for this particular community, and you can go through these job requirements, and then you can apply for these jobs accordingly in order to get into this particular RNI program. Also, let's look into the Moose Jaw community. So for looking into the Moose Jaw community, you can click on employers. So let's see if this employers tab it take us to the employers the who are offering the jobs or something. So I don't see that. Let's go to opportunities, which is present in the applicants tab. So this also tells you like how you can apply for this particular Musjo RNIP. Then there are these current opportunities which you can go through, and you can apply for these current opportunities. Also, you can check out sasjobs.ca website, and there are a lot of opportunities that are being listed down. So there are a total of 12,152 jobs that are present in this particular province, but you have to look for the jobs that is being present in this community and that fall under this particular community. So once you have searched for the job, you can start applying for the jobs. Let's say you get a job, then what? Then you have to apply for community recommendation, and each community has different set of application process which you have to follow, and different documents are required in order to apply under those community and to get the recommendation. So you have to go through the communities websites, and you have to go through and understand the process of each of these communities, or wherever you're applying for the job and you're planning to move, and you're getting a job offer for that particular community. You can go through the process, and you can understand the process, and then you can apply for community recommendation. Once you get that, you can apply for the permanent residence. So for that, you have to follow some of the steps. As of September 23rd 2022, it is now mandatory to apply online. That is what it says. So you have to understand all those system, that is tier system, which is being introduced recently, and you have to fill the forms, all the required forms, all the details are being given over here. You can go through it and you can apply for your PR process. Also, in case once you have been recommended by the community and you have applied for the PR, you can also apply for a work permit, and it could be a parallel application which could be running, and it will also helps to speed up the process of moving to Canada. So that is also an option. So you can get a 1 year work permit also. You can apply, you can get a recommendation from the community, and then you can check whether you're eligible to apply for the work permit. And if you are eligible to apply for the work permit, you can apply and you can get a work permit also under this particular program. So in this program, this is how you can apply, and you can follow all the steps, and you can get into this particular RNIP program, which is a great program and a great opportunity for a lot of people who want to apply for the jobs and get a job offer in all these provinces and all these communities, the 11 communities which is mentioned under this particular program. And Basically, the four steps that are being required in order to apply for PR under this pilot. First is you need to check that whether you meet the eligibility requirements or not. Then you have to check the community specific requirements. Secondly, you have to find a eligible job with an employer in one of these participating communities. Then once you have the job offer, you have to submit your application for recommendation to the community. Once you get the recommendation, you can apply for the PR, and in parallel you can also apply for a work permit, so that you can start your process of moving to Canada once you get your work permit for certain amount of time. So this was about RNIP. I hope you liked the video, and in case you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and all the best for your journey to the PR.